A crazy mom screams at me for not helping out in the ED when I am not a part of the emergency team or work there, by useranimaths 93. Hi. I am a 28-year-old doctor and my specialty is in clinical chemistry, chemical pathology/biochemistry, and laboratory medicine, so I usually do not interact with patients much anymore. This happened during my specialization training and it still makes me shake my head. My colleague and friend in another department suddenly developed seizures in the middle of the night. Her husband contacted me as I often helped her before they were married, and I was taking a midnight stroll in the campus as I was on call for the lab. I went to emergency and got all her papers ready. My junior from my alma mater was studying emergency medicine and she helped expedite things. My friend arrived the same time another family involved in an accident arrived. Since my friend was still seizing, my junior asked if I could place an 4 for the time being because they needed to look at the family involved in the accident while the neurologist arrived. No problem. The ED was extremely busy and I was ready to help. I did everything for my friend as one of the nursing officers handed me the anti-epileptic drug while her husband, also a doctor but in another hospital, stayed by to make sure she is comfortable. That was when suddenly the ED went dark and the beeping got annoying. JK. This crazy mother CM, tapped on my shoulder. CM, hi, can you help me? Me, hi, sorry. I am not an ED doctor but I can guide you to whom you should see. CM, aren't you a doctor? Me, Yes, but I am not a part of the ED. I am here for my friend. CM, so? Since you helped your friend, can you take a look at my child? Me, I am sorry but I cannot. I cannot take responsibility as I am not a part of the emergency team and neither am I posted here. When my friend in the ED gets better, I shall ask her to take a look. CM, but you helped your friend. Me, yes, because the team is busy with an accident and since it's my friend, all I did was set an 4 so that she will be stable till they can come and check on her. CM, so why can't you help me? I am tired of waiting and my child is uncomfortable. Me, tired now lady. I am not an emergency doctor nor am I on duty. I cannot help you or take responsibility should something happen. Please wait for the emergency doctor to be free. Why don't you go to the registration counter? They will ensure someone looks at your child. CM, I cannot leave my child alone. Why can't you take a look at him? Me, sighing, where is your child now and what is wrong? I cannot give any advice or do anything because I am not a part of the posted emergency team but I can inform them. CM, I need you to look at him. He fell down and is crying. Me, just wait. Once an emergency doctor comes, I will send them your way. CM, now grabbing my arm, you will see him right now. Friend's hubby, pulling me away and blocking CM, you will leave her alone. She is not a part of the emergency team. Stop harassing her. CM, help. They are assaulting me. A nurse charge, NC, finally ran in asking what is wrong. I knew NC as we are a part of the same Christian prayer group so she asked my side first. I explained about my friend and how CM was forcing me to help her son when I cannot. NC, CM, OP is a doctor but she is not posted nor a part of our emergency team. We needed her to help her friend because we are super busy but that is it. She cannot help you. CM, stop giving excuses. You just don't want to help me. Me, now help me with my son or I will complain. Me, now annoyed, go ahead. I turned away as NC was dealing with CM as the neurologist had arrived and I had to talk with her and friend's hubby. I thought that was it. Wrong. As my friend got better and I was helping another nurse change the 4 bag while she gave my friend another dose of anti-epileptic drug, my hand was suddenly pulled, nearly causing me to pull at the 4. CM had grabbed me. Me, now really angry, what the hell? You again? What are you doing? You nearly made me rip off her 4 line. CM, this is the doctor who refused to help me. I want her license cancelled. Turns out she had dragged the emergency medical officer, the senior doctor watching over everything, to complain. The M officer blinked as she knew I did not work in the ED unless I was posted there, which I was not. M officer, she does not work here. CM, yes she does. She was fixing that woman's 4. M officer, she is a part of the hospital but she does not work on the ED. Since she is a doctor, she was just helping her friend but that is it. She cannot look at your child unless I tell her to. CM, stop lying. Why are you covering for her? She is the worse. Friends hubby, officer, take this lady away. My wife is not well and she has been harassing OP too much. OP is already going out of her way to be polite. Officer agreed and turned to CM. Officer, I saw your child. He is fine. We are swamped today especially since we had an entire family be admitted here. If you continue to create a ruckus, we will ask you to leave and maybe even ban you. CM, but I did nothing wrong. It's her, me, fault. Officer, firmly you have two options. You either leave them alone or you leave. CM left us along grumbling as I heaved a sigh of relief. My friend had recovered so we decided to have her discharged and have her checked up in the morning. As we were leaving, we saw CM glare at us and mouth swear words at us but we ignored her. Friend's hubby apologized but I told him not to worry as none of it was his fault. Next morning, the story had spread in the whole hospital and my guide told me to be firm and not entertain people who were like CM. It's not very exciting but it's not the first time I went through this. Since I have friends in the ed, I often go to see them and be treated so badly by patients and their relatives. God, some days I am glad I am in laboratory medicine and not in the ed. Sorry for the long post but I was talking to my friend and we spoke about this incident and thought to share it. Pick up this dog sh*t, by user rapsitesm12345. Obligatory on mobile disclaimer and any spelling mistakes or autocorrect and typing errors. So, to set the scene. I had just finished work, exhaustion threatening to take hold of my body and me fighting with every fiber of my being to stay conscious enough for the final push of making the drive home. I had just popped into the local supermarket and picked up some cereal and a trifle, I know, an odd combination but I hope future historians will struggle to find an explanation for it. I was walking towards my car, the light at the end of the tunnel glinting hopefully and signaling an end to my 12-hour workday. I opted to cut down a quick side street since, outside of work I'm antisocial and working in retail sucks the enthusiasm to deal with the general public. And then it happened, the Karen dragon appeared. Little did I know with my sleep-deprived brain that this monstrosity approaching breathed hellishly with Karen fire but, alas I was about to find out firsthand. I sidestepped a dog turd a particularly lazy pet owner had decided to leave and then the two words every brave retail night dreads escaped the lips of the banshee harlot that was bearing down on me now. Excuse me. Unfortunately for me, this particular brand of crazy was unknown, even to me. Are you going to pick up that dog's number T? She croaked in the raspy voice. I looked down at myself at my cereal and trifle. Yup, I was most definitely not the designated S@T cheveler she presumed me to be. What? I asked back, mystified as to how a random stranger she just accosted in the street should be responsible for cleaning up a random turd. Are you going to pick up this dog number T? She repeated emphatically. Why would I? I see, this is what my council tax goes towards? Lazy workers who don't keep the streets clean. I'm going to be reporting you. And then here is where I remembered something I read on another IDontWorkHereLady post and it was perfect. Are you alright dear? I asked earnestly. Do you need me to call someone to come pick you up? Yes, I'm fine the Karen replied, her face screwing up in confusion. Why are you going to call someone? Because you must either be senile, have dementia or just be eternally stupid if you think a random person who just happens to be walking in the opposite direction is there to pick up sh*t off the pavement. There's no need to be rude, the banshee snarled animalistically, coiling up to deliver the Karen strike. You're right. I'm sorry. I'll just ring the care home to have someone swing by in the van and meet you. I don't live in a care home. How dare you be rude to me? It was at this point I just stepped around her and continued walking. Her tirade ceased momentarily as she stared at my back in odd confusion. Apparently, this Karen was not used to being ignored and not having instant vindication for her Karening short-circuited her brain. The hamster in her head had apparently shrugged and decided to bail, leaving the proverbial hamster wheel spin idly. She flapped her mouth open and shut as I threw her a cheeky wave and went on my way. So that was my harrowing ordeal, my Karen in the wild. Probably not the most scintillating tale, but one that still brings a smile to my face. I almost got a Karen arrested, by user BrokenDreamer 1997. So, I worked at Panda Express my senior year and didn't turn 18 until a few months after graduating high school, but my parents allowed me more freedom than most in my circumstance. However, I have a lot of fun stories from this time frame, but this was my absolute favorite. There was a Target next to where I worked, and I often stopped by to pick up snacks or sodas before work. Because my work shirt was red, I often got mistaken for a Target employee, but nothing like this. One particular summer day, I went to Target while on break to buy a new water bottle as I had accidentally broken mine during my shift and wanted to get it replaced. Corporate was really stingy and deducted money from our checks if we used the cups at work, and it was hot outside, so it was better to get a cheap replacement and a snack while on break. While I was wandering the store with plenty of time to spare, I noticed someone was following me. At first, I thought it was coincidence, but, after the fifth detour aisle, I realized she was following me. Being only 17, I was actually a bit nervous and finally mustered up the courage to face her. "Me, can I help you with something?" "Woman, Karen, it's about time. I've been trying to get your attention for forever now." I often wore headphones as I had severe social anxiety and didn't like being in public areas that were crowded like this. "Me, well, can I help you or?" "Karen, is that how you treat your customers? Talk about poor customer service." I was genuinely confused until I realized that she, like so many people before her, had confused me for a Target worker despite the fact that I had a giant panda on the back of my shirt along with the company name. These types of encounters were normally pretty easy, but this lady wasn't having it. "Me, ma'am, I don't work here." "Karen, don't go lying to me like that. How dumb do you think I am?" At this point, we had attracted the attention of a few employees, who called for their supervisor, S. As I tried to reason with this lady, the supervisor showed up and took over the conversation. "S, is there a problem here?" "Karen, this employee is walking around and ignoring customers. She was extremely rude to me, and I want her fired." S looks at me and sees the Panda Express logo on my shirt. "Ma'am, she doesn't work here." "Karen, are you calling me stupid?" At this point, she started towards me, and I backed away, trying to hide behind the supervisor while struggling to understand what her problem was. She reached around the supervisor and grabbed a fistful of my shirt before either of us were able to react. She tugged so hard at my shirt that it almost slipped over my head, and I started crying at this point. "Karen, see? She's wearing a red shirt, so she must be an employee here. I want her fired." "Me, let go of me, please." Thankfully, one of my mom's friends, MMF, happened to be shopping that day with her kids and saw this woman holding me by the shirt. She immediately walked up to the woman with her kids, one of whom was my age, in tow and proceeded to grab the woman by the arm. "MMF, what on earth do you think you're doing? Get your hands off that child now." Karen pauses for a moment and looks from me to the woman and back again. "She's not a child. She's a young adult." "Me, still trying to get free, I'm 17, lady, and, for the last time, I don't work here." At this point, you could hear a pin drop from across the room, and I thought that Karen was going to just let go and leave me alone. However, she huffed and looked away, commenting how being 17 practically made me an adult and was no excuse to act so rudely. MMF, the employees and the supervisor had enough by this point and were already calling the police while my friend, who had seen me bullied all throughout high school, attempted to calm me down. MMF wanted to know where my mom was, to which I replied that she was likely at home since I had been working. Then I explained that I had come to buy a new water bottle after breaking mine. MMF actually paid for my water bottle and told me to go back to work so that I didn't get into trouble, but she also warned me that the police might be coming by to talk to me. I didn't think anything of this and did exactly as she said, knowing that I was never going to hear the end of it from my mom when I got home that night. As MMF warned, the police showed up at work later that day and asked a few questions, and my boss didn't seem to mind as I explained what happened as soon as I got back. I never heard what happened to Karen, but my mom told me not to let an adult grab me like that again as they could be arrested for assaulting a minor. First contact with Karens and IDontWorkHereLady stuff, by user SnuHesitations 5728. Okay, that was my first time on USA, my first contact with a Karen and my first contact with this IDontWorkHereLady stuff. I'm 30yo guy, traveling with my family to Miami to shopping and stuff. There was a nice mall in front of our hotel, which I believe I can't say the name, but since it's a very famous shopping mall with a marine mammal on its name, let's call it whale shopping. The shopping mall is big and very exciting. It was pretty fun to see different people at the same time and place from all over the world. I went to a clothes store and bought something for me. Suddenly a female costumer, let's call her Karen, approached me. "Karen, excuse me, do you have it on larger size?" At first, I thought something like, "You know what? I want to help this lady." I looked around and found the same shirt in which appeared to be a larger size. Me, I found this one. Take a look. She took it from me and then gave me back. Karen, okay, I'll buy it. Me, okay. And gave her back. When she stared me back I realized what was going on. Me, oh, I don't work here. I'm sorry. She took her glasses off. Karen, okay. Can you call the manager, please? Again. I know I probably take the wrong decision but it was my first travel out of my country. I really thought that the best thing to do was try to help and then leave. So I went to a guy at the register and told him what was going on. That lady thought I worked here. Now she wants to talk with the manager. I just tried to help, I'm sorry. The guy gave me a smile, trying not to laugh, and said. Guy, Wild Karen appears, oh? I got the Pokemon reference from there, but at that time I thought she was a well-known costumer named Karen. The guy was going upstairs to find the manager. Since I was so trying to help I made my last and unforgettable/unforgivable mistake on my life, I called her. I approached her and said. Me, Ms. Karen, the guy on the register was. Karen, how dare you? Who do you think you are talking to? I got pale. I just froze while the entire store was looking, lifted up my hands the exactly way I'd do if I get robbed, or if a crazy dog was barking at me. For about 5 minutes, which felt like an hour, she was saying all sort of things. Slowly, I was approaching the register, as if I was a little deer scared by an wolf or an wild boar. She was following me, of course, step by step. I saw the manager approaching as my great white horse knight ready to protect me from that dragon. Karen, I demand you fire this lazy employee, wasn't that the word, but okay. The manager took a look at me and I slowly dropped my hands down. Manager, okay, lady. This guy tried to help you for what I was told but he don't work here. Karen seemed to be satisfied. Karen, you Latinos are just lazy, aren't you? Manager, if you don't back off and leave this store, I will call the police and me and this guy, pointed to me, are going to press charges for racism. Karen left. Man, I was like what the just happened. The guy on register asked me if I was good and explained me what is a Karen. It took a long to realize things like so, because of how I look like it doesn't seem like I'd be a costumer too, an **T like that. Oh, and the employees realized that I didn't want to leave right away to not risking finding Karen again, then they started to joke about. First Karen we never forget, there is a Reddit about it, here, so, you were a Karen virgin. Just lost your Karen virginity. The girl on the register suggested to call her Whale Mall Karen and told me about her experience on Karens. Found a Karen and new friends at the same day. Easter Karen, by user sunflower_skies. I, F21, was volunteering at a church on Easter passing out plastic bags for the egg drop. Just so you know I was around 11 or 12 at the time this happened. While I was passing out the bags I hear Karen yelling at me. She was yelling I have a question. I have a question. When I heard this I was like oh heck no not today. So, as the nice person I am, I turned around giving a friendly smile. She asks me if the kids can go out twice to get eggs. I had no idea because they were trying to keep it fair so I went to go look for a church worker/minster. She told me that Karen wasn't able to do that because the kids would throw a fit if someone got more eggs than them. When I told Karen this she started to yell at me saying how she has been coming to the event for years and how it was stupid that we made it fair for all of the children. I told her it wasn't in my control because I didn't work there. I let her rant on but I was startled because I was only 11/12. What would you think I would do? Honestly I was waiting for her to ask for the manager. Surprisingly, she just stomped away. Later, we found out that she was smoking around the little kids. And now I refuse to go to that church or any other church. By the way, do you think I was in the wrong?